And now, Miss JSpire.
Don't you wanna talk about it? Let's talk about it. Don't you wanna talk about it? Let's talk about it.
Well, hello everyone, and happy Friday. Welcome to Fill Up Friday Live. I am your host, Mrs. J Spire. Listen, y'all, it's been a long day, but I'm so excited to be here with you all. Thank you if you are watching live. Good evening, Lucy. And if you are catching the replay, thank you so much. Please be sure to still engage through the conversation as you're watching, as we do our very best to go back and to respond to the comments. So go ahead and begin to drop into the comments. If you're watching live or if you're watching the replay, drop into the comments what you all filled up on this week. If you did not fill up, drop in the comments what you needed, right? What you may have needed to fill up, or if you sold into someone else in any way. But this is just a time where we come together and we talk about what we filled up on. We talked about what we got. We talked about what we needed that we didn't get. And so that's what Fill Up Friday is. The goal is that when you leave the show, when you leave the podcast, the viewing, that you are full if you came in half empty. And if you came in full, that we hope that you are able to pour into someone else tonight during the broadcast. So you may be asking, well, Mrs. J Spire, what is JSpirations Live? Well, JSpirations Live is a motivational movement, right? So it's not just a podcast. It's not just a time where we come and we talk. Hey, Talisha, that we come and we talk, but it's a time where we really come together to talk to people who are tangible, people that we can put our hands on, and we talk about things that matter. So something that we're going to talk about tonight, it may be something that we have touched on before, as we have been broadcasting from our radio show and then also doing the podcast since 2018. So we've talked about a lot of things, but sometimes it's okay and it's good to come back and, revisit some things that we have already talked about, some things that we have already spoken about. I always feel like God has a way of bringing things back to our remembrance, bringing things back to our thoughts, back to our minds, right? As a refresher, as a reminder of what we need to do. So this week, even though I have been running on empty at times, but this week I've had the opportunity to pour into some people. Sometimes you become a part of a group that you didn't necessarily see yourself, or like you've experienced something, and then there's other people who experience some of those same things, and sometimes they reach out to you, or sometimes you get the inkling to reach out to them. And this week I had the inkling to reach out to two other people who have recently experienced something that I experienced. And when I first experienced it, people would tell me, you are going to, you're going to be good for other people. You're going to be able to speak into other people's lives about this situation. And I simply said, don't tell me that. Like, this is a hardship. This is trauma. This is traumatic. This is hurtful. And I don't have time to be pouring into anybody else about it. That's not my role. That's not what I want to do. Hey, good evening, Miss Deborah. It's good to see you. But this week, two people, like I said, they experienced recently something that I had experienced, and God really did lay it on my heart to reach out to them. And when I reached out to them, they said things to me or asked questions that actually no one else had said to me before, or questions that no one else had asked me. And I thought, wow, like this is really weird, because I had some of the same feelings that they have. I had some of the same thoughts that they had, but no one had actually asked me those questions. And so we really started talking about some feelings, right? About how we're feeling and how they were feeling, and talking about how you sometimes think that there's something wrong with you because of the way that you're feeling. And I spent a lot of time talking to my students about emotions. I spent a lot of time talking to them about decision making. I spent a lot of time talking with them about being themselves, right? And so all those conversations that I've had with my students, like even over the years and even in my new position, when I was talking to these two particular people, like it really started just like coming back to me and really coming to my remembrance how important feelings are. And depending on how you grew up, depending on where you grew up, what type of environment you grew up in, sometimes you had family that encouraged you to express yourself, encouraged you to have feelings, right? Encouraged you to share. And then there were some who were maybe, I don't want to use the word suppressed, because sometimes our parents don't know, people's parents don't know. And so they do what, they rear the way that they were reared. But I was thankful and blessed because my mom allowed me to express myself. She allowed me to talk. She allowed me to share. So if I was happy, she knew I was happy. If I was sad, she knew I was sad. If I was frustrated, she knew I was frustrated. But there were other people that would get things like suck it up, buttercup, or, you're a grown man, or, you're a boy, or that's just life. You have to deal with those things. And so as we grow up, those things stick with us, and it's like, well, I can't share my feelings, or even if I feel a type of way, I shouldn't share it, or I shouldn't express it. I should just go on, right? Because that's life. And what God gave me today about that, and I've only posted one time this week, and I just posted on Tuesday that if it had not been for the Lord on my side, just because of the way that I was feeling. But then today I posted that sometimes we don't like how we feel. However, feelings are real and help us to process and hopefully make better choices for ourselves, to heal, to change, and to live. And I thought that even though, and I said, never stop feeling, even though it may seem basic, it may just seem like something that people know, but that's what I'm trying to convey to you. People don't always know. So we get upset because people don't express themselves. We get upset because they don't show emotion, right? But maybe they've been told that, showing emotion is a sign of weakness. And we can talk about weakness, because in my situation and some of the situations that I've been encouraging people through this week, right? Like, it's always like, if you don't do it this way, then you're weak. You have to be strong. And our community teach us, just be strong and just walk through it. And God doesn't give you more than you can bear. He doesn't put things on you, that, he's not going to put you through, or if he brought it to you, then he's going to take you through it. Like all these things that we hear. But some of the things that we go through, it has nothing to do with God, right? Some of the things that we come to, it has nothing to do with God. It has absolutely everything to do with the decisions that we have made, right? So then we get into these emotional things, and it's like, or we get into relationships or whatever, and it's like, well, this person doesn't share, or this person doesn't do that. Everybody has their own feelings, and everybody has their own process. So because we all get sad, we all get scared, we all get frustrated. Hopefully we're always, we're all happy sometimes, but the process that we go through is different. Same emotions, different process. But what I want to encourage you to do, that regardless of how you're feeling, I want to encourage you to feel. As long as you are feeling, that means that you are living, that you are alive and you are well, and that you are healthy. Some people will say, well, if someone's always anxious or if someone's always scared, they're always fearful, they're always negative. Yeah, we want to have the positive, right? But the point is that they are feeling, because when you begin not to feel, that means that you're not living and you're not healthy. God has given us those emotions. What's a computer problem, Lucy? Am I talking too fast? Explain in the comments. But you know, as long as we're still feeling, then we're living. As long as we're still feeling, then there's opportunity for change, right? As long as we are still feeling, then it's opportunity to move from one feeling or one emotion to the other. And it doesn't mean that we have to stay there. So there are days where we're going to be happy, right? But then there are days where we may be sad. There's going to be times throughout the day that we may be frustrated. Maybe times throughout the day where we are scared about something. And so it's okay to have all of those feelings. Just keep feeling. As long as you keep feeling, then you will be able to keep living. As long as you are still feeling, then you will be able to heal, right? Because we have hurt sometimes, right? That brings on sadness. But as long as we are able to heal, right? We're able to feel, then there is still that opportunity for us to heal, right? There's still that opportunity for us to make change. There's still that opportunity for us to make a different choice than what we have made before, right? So it's all these feelings, and we want to be able to continue to live. We want to be able to continue to we want to be able to continue to feel better about ourselves, right? We want to be able to do all those things that's going to take us on a different journey, that's going to take us to a different place. So I want to encourage you all tonight to continue to feel. Continue to feel so that you can continue to grow. Continue to feel so that you can continue to heal. And continue to feel so that you can continue to make better choices for yourself, to make better choices for your family. When we suppress and we don't feel, that's where the bondage comes in at, right? That's where that's where that fear continues to live, when we're not able to feel. Because once we start to feel and we get comfortable with talking and we get comfortable with processing and get comfortable with being acknowledging what we're feeling, then that's when the freedom is going to come. So I'm not going to keep you guys late tonight. I'm not going to keep you long, but I want to encourage you to feel, because it is healthy. The some of the things that I always say, like, we come on here and we talk, and we have amazing discussions, and it's for motivational purposes and it's for encouragement. But what I want to encourage you to do is to always seek professional support, right? It's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes we have feelings and we're not sure what to do with them, right? We want to continue to feel, but sometimes it's like, okay, I have all these feelings, but what do I do with them? And so it's okay to not be okay. And then it's also okay to seek professional support, to seek professional help. Some people may say, well, I'm not going to go to a counselor. It's okay. You can go to a counselor. Well, I'm not going to go to a therapist. No, it's okay. You can go to a therapist, right? Well, I don't want to talk to my pastor about it because it's my business. Well, if God has sent you to that place and that's your covenant, talk to that person, right? Or if you don't want to talk to your pastor, or you don't want to talk to a family member, speak to your doctor and allow them to give you a referral to be able to get the supports that you need. Next month is Mental Health Month. And we don't have to wait until May to start talking about it. We want to make sure that we are healthy 365, right? And so use your resources, whether it's someone in your family, hopefully they'll be able to help you, whether it's your doctor, whether it's a therapist, whether it's your pastor. Talk to someone, right? Reach out. I always say it, I'm going to say it again. We do not have to do life alone. Feel so that you can heal, right? Talk so that you can heal. Express yourself so that you can be free. God does not want us to walk in bondage. in any areas of our lives, whether it's financial, whether it's emotional, whether it's in relationships, whether it's in our jobs, whatever it is. He wants us to be free, right? And so one of my friends, she's been on the show before, Joy, and she has the podcast, Stay Free, right? And so we started talking about that way back in 2020, right? We started talking about staying free. And so that message still conveys today that we want to make sure that we are staying free as we're moving through life because God wants us to enjoy. So I love you all. I appreciate you popping on tonight. If you enjoyed the show or if you got something from the show, you feel like you need to share this message with someone else, by all means do so. Go back and listen to it later so that it can really get into your spirit, that it's okay to feel and it's okay to talk to someone, right? It's okay to seek professional help. It doesn't make you weak. It's just makes you, it actually, I don't like to use the word strong, but it helps you in your journey of being resilient, right? Because life has been life and life is going to life. Things are going to happen, right? And we're not going to always like the way it makes us feel, but the feelings are real and they help us to process and hopefully help us to make better choices, helps us to heal, helps us to change, and it helps us to continue to live. So I encourage you this weekend to live. I encourage you tonight to live, to do something that's going to fill you up, right? Do something that makes you feel good about yourself and what you're doing. Inspire someone else, JSpire someone else. And as always, be JSpire.